Copper fam, welcome to Northern Norway, where Bodø Glimt, who have never won a league title, have just won 4 in 5 seasons and gone further than ever in Europe, whilst all being backed by a club ethos and a fan base as unique as their location. So with the club hosting their first leg of their Europa League quarter-final against Lazio, we decided to brave the spring snow to find out why it's all kicking off at Bodø Glimt. All right, well, welcome to Bodø, or Bodø, as I believe locals pronounce it. A very, very northern Norwegian city of about 50,000 people, 200 kilometers north of the Arctic Circle. And just for context, we're so high up that we're about a 10-hour drive from the nearest city, a 16-hour drive from Oslo. And as you can tell from the weather, only 6 weeks out from summer, we're a long way from home. Ooh. Now, usually I would never travel anywhere this cold, this deep into spring, but I've made an exception for Bodø because the story of the rise of this town's local football club might just be the most special in Europe right now. Formed in 1916, Bodø Glimt, which roughly translates to Bodø Flash in English, had only ever known success thanks to a legendary cup win in 1975 and another cup win in 1993. But when it came to the league, Glimt, for most of their century-long existence, were known as a yo-yoing club between the first and second divisions. But then came the 2020s, where everything changed. In 2020, they win their first ever title, doing it whilst breaking a Norwegian record for most points accumulated and most goals scored, all on a budget less than a quarter of some other clubs. In 2021, they do it again, going undefeated in their last 19 games. And whilst they couldn't make it 3 titles in a row in 2022, by 23, they'd won it again by 9 points, and 24 won it again, making it 4 league titles in 5 seasons. And that's before we get to Europe, where this tiny town from the top of the country have beaten Besiktas home and away, Celtic home and away, and most famously thrashed Mourinho's Roma 6-1 at their bite-sized Aspmyra Stadium. And this season's no different, where once again in Norway they're fighting at the top of the table, and in Europe they're stronger than ever, beating Braga away, beating Porto at home, beating Besiktas again, setting the record for an away attendance at Old Trafford in European competition, and smashing Greek giants Olympiacos 3-0. All leading to why we're here now, their first ever appearance at the quarter-final stage of the Europa League, where tomorrow they host Lazio. And whilst there's many people and places we're going to visit to try and cover this story, we're beginning it at their iconic home Aspmyra, where the club has opened the final training session to the media. This is amazing. Hello. The fact you're going to be playing on, what are you going to do with the snow? How are you going to get rid of it before tomorrow?
We're going to make snowballs and throw them at the Lazio players. We've never gone so far in the tournament before. You know, we've played Man United and Porto and Rome, but this is like the biggest stage we've ever been on. So it's going to be the biggest or most important game of our history.
This is incredible. The fact this stadium is going to host a European quarter-final, it's just brilliant. This stand was built in the 60s?
Yeah.
And that?
It's built 3-4 years ago.
That's apartment blocks.
So people live up in these windows, so you kind of get a season ticket with buying an apartment, because you can just sit in your own bedroom and watch the games.
So wait, does that mean, because the ultra section's right there?
Yeah.
If the ultras rip flares, the smoke's going straight into your bedroom.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've cut training short because I'm already struggling in these conditions. It's been a couple of hours and I can't feel my hands. My neck's gone, my head. Hopefully the club shot is going to save me, because otherwise it's going to be a long 48 hours. Alrighty. Now we are ready to take on Bodø. Let's go.
If you haven't asked people in 2018 if things could happen, which no has happened,
Yep.
they will think you were crazy.
It's not that
Long ago, the club almost was bankrupt.
It's so amazing. Very good teams from all over Europe are coming to Bodø.
And you're beating them.
Yes, I'm always beating them and watching them, and it's fairy tale.
I don't think anyone expected that we could even win a league title, and now we have won 4. So
4 in 5 years.
yeah, that's.
And previously you had 1-0.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
So, yeah.
No one should even think of that you should reach what you have not reached the last years. It's really impossible for a so small club in a so small town.
When you won the league, your budget was 1/4 of Rosenborg. So you're not doing this with lots of money.
No.
You've made some money now because you've made Europe. So what's the secret?
Because we changed the way of thinking in the club, and that's really the key.
They are not focused on the result, but how good or not good they play.
We had a mental coach coming to the club in 2018. He was a pilot flying planes,
A fighter pilot.
fighter planes, yes.
He didn't like football?
Not at all.
Not interested at all?
Not at all. But he knows people and he knows mentality. And together with the coaches, he just switched the way of thinking. So instead of thinking about winning and 3 points, we only think about performing and developing.
We get the results because we don't think about the results.
So our coach, Kjetil Knudsen, he hasn't said the word win since February 2019.
No, come on.
You just go and check his TV interviews.
He doesn't say the word win.
No, never.
Yet you've won 4 league titles in 5 years. You've gone further than ever in Europe, been in Roma, Porto, Olympiacos.
Yeah.
But he doesn't say the word win.
Victory, win, lose, points. No, he don't say that because he only talks about developing the team and the performance you have to put in.
And now they are on the top, and we are so happy.
In this town, Glimt and football is really important. It's really all about football.
Not skiing, not the winter sports.
No, of course some do that, but it's much bigger and more popular. It's a big part of life because it's been popular since the 50s and 60s, and it's an interesting story because in the 60s up until 1963, the clubs in North Norway, they weren't allowed to compete against the clubs in the south of Norway.
You were looked down upon, I heard.
Yeah, we were a bit discriminated in Norway.
If you came from North Norway, you wanted to rent a house or like a studio apartment in Oslo, you weren't allowed a lot of places because you came from North Norway.
In the 1960s, if you use the dialect from the northern Norway, they didn't want to rent you a apartment or nothing. They didn't want to speak to you.
The sign in the paper would say for rent, but not with people that have dogs, and not people from North Norway.
So when you went down to southern Norway and they heard your accent, did they discriminate against you?
Yeah, but I found out that I could learn the southern accent.
That's the way it was?
That was the way it was, and then in 1975, Bodø Glimt won the cup final,
And things started to change.
and then it really changed.
But it was much more than football, because it changed how we looked at ourselves.
Yeah.
And even more, how the Norwegian South looked at us.
It really did. It really did something with the people.
After that, we could say we were partner.
And now the beauty, thanks to Bodø Glimt, decades later, you come back to northern Norway because your team's better than southern Norway and the
Right.
football's better up north.
Very good.
Is there not a beauty in that? Is there not
Yeah.
something poetic?
Because what they did in 1975. I can tell you a lot of stories how this has really changed the society in North.
Before, we don't see a player from South Norway. They stay south or go to abroad. But no, they want to come to Bodø.
Everybody wants to go.
So 3 weeks of the year you have no sun. For a good part of the year the sun goes down at 1 p.m. Yet you have players wanting to come here. Why?
They see that we are doing very well, and they also see that in Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Iceland and Norway, Bodø is the best place to be.
We're only like 50,000 people here in Bodø, but anything's possible right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
My cameraman said it. He said there's something beautiful about how Bodø, Glimt means flash, like a light, a flash of light. And it's almost like in this place where there's not as much light as, let's say, the rest of Europe, the light comes from this football club. All right, well, that's our first day in Bodø complete. One with a set of incredible interviews, incredible people, and incredible stories that sum up just how special Bodø and Bodø Glimt are together. But for me, the best summary is probably this background. An image we've seen all over town where building after building is kind of tiled with these little yellow and black frames as a symbol of how much this club means to its locals. And now all we've got to do is wait for the sun to go down and for it to come back up again, where this club, this city, is going to experience the biggest fixture in their 109-year history. Fuck this, man. I did not sign up for this. All right, well, welcome to a very strange match day for kicking off. April! It's April! Mid-April! Just a foot of snow in the middle of April. And so I thought, well, if we're going to have an unusual match day, we should do something a bit out of the ordinary. So we're going to head out to the port and learn about Bodø's other true passion, fish, or cod essentially. They catch more of it out here than I think anywhere else in the world. So I figured with 12 hours till the game and nothing else to do in this weather, let's find out about this city's other great passion. I genuinely don't know how they're going to have a game, man. One of the smashing European powerhouses. How is Lazio going to deal with this? They're from the middle of Italy. We're making a movie about Bodø Glimt, and we also want to tell the story about the fish in the area. I don't know. I thought we'd find some fishermen. The only thing we found was fish. So let's go get a newspaper. Let's go get a coffee. Let's go get some energy for the biggest match in the history of this city. Maybe some new socks as well, mine are already fucked. All right, well, our match day morning may have not got off to the best start with that failed hunt for a fisherman, but things are turning around. Ben, who I interviewed yesterday, has got in touch with me and told me just next door, the entire 1975 Cup-winning squad are having coffee together. How you going?
And then you have two priests here.
Two priests? Two priests? Oh my gosh, is this for good luck or it's
You go there for the snow. For the snow.
for the snow, to stop the snow?
Yeah.
Now obviously you're the first team to ever win anything. If this club wins the Europa League, it might overstage that. Are you okay with that? Are you? This city is incredible. Every time you think it can't get more fascinating, they've just put out a 50-year-old banner from that 1975 Cup final win. So these are all the teams they beat? Yeah. Kabelberg, Lansas, Tromsø. Made in the 70s, kept in almost prime condition. The man who made it has passed on, but his friend has kept it as a memory.
You know this man?
That man? Honestly, this city and club every few hours is just impressing us more and more. And we still got a game to go. Kicking off, itinerary changes like that. Word from Ben, he's come through again. They've got us a fisherman. We've got a real cod master, a proper Bodovian. I don't know if that's the term, but I'm making it up now. I don't care. And just hours before kickoff, I'm finally gonna meet a man of the fish, a fisherman. How many years have you been catching this stuff?
Oh, I'm about 60 years.
You've been catching this for 60 years?
Yes.
The famous torsk.
Yes, torsk.
This is torsk. Oh, it's cold. No, it's cold.
Cold? No,
It's cold. No, yeah. How important is this to Bodø?
Oh, they're very important. North Norway not live without this fish. Eat fish 5 days a week.
You?
Yeah.
Now, what's more important? The torsk or the Bodø Glimt? What's more important?
I think the torsk is most important.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that.
And second most important?
Yeah, the Bodø Glimt.
The Bodø Glimt. All right. All right, well, we found our fisherman. The sun is out. It's match day. Now we find the fans.
It's unbelievable. It almost shouldn't happen. Look around yourself.
We are in the outskirts of Northern Europe. And this is what's so beautiful about football. These things happen. Sometimes you can have a tiny little club from a tiny little place, and we can be here, we can play against Lazio, we can play Roma, Manchester United. This is why football is beautiful.
This is why this town is so incredible. So many supporters have turned away from the modern football merchandise and made their own. Your friend made this.
Yes.
I mean, it makes sense in a place where it's winter basically 9 months of the year, but like, look at this. It's absolutely brilliant. We've seen it the whole day. Fans with handmade sweaters, scarves, socks, beanies, gloves, and each and every one is different.
My wife has knitted it.
I made it.
You made the beanie.
Yes.
Look at this one. Again, like, there is not one bit of knitwear that's the same. Everyone is doing something different, whether it's the club name or the forever slogan. The toothbrush. I keep hearing about these toothbrushes you take to the stadium.
Yes.
But what's the story behind them? Everyone's got a different idea of how it's done.
It goes back to like the 70s.
It's always been passed on by generations.
Somebody decided to just bring it to India, and we just stuck with it.
I've entered stadiums to get accreditation in weird situations, but never quite like this. Oh shit. This is an HR violation, surely. Only 15 minutes from kickoff. It's the most only in northern Norway situation you could have. The sun's out, yet we're covered in hail, a sea of black and yellow. The Italian flag's waving, the Norwegian flag's waving. Lazio, we're told, were banned from having fans. They've even got a section, but you can just feel the excitement. This club, this city has never seen anything so big. And it's just such an honor to be part of it all. Last but not least, just how different is the size of this club against Lazio for people who don't understand how big of a David versus Goliath this is?
We don't really care.
You don't even care?
No, we don't. It's 11 against 11.
You really see it that way?
Yeah, I do.
I'm convinced that Glimt will win.
Are you confident? Do you think you can win?
Yeah, sure.
Come on.
I've seen them beat Porto, so why not?
5 minutes 45 in, and Bodø should have just scored. Brilliant save by Lazio's keeper, but they are on top of this game already. Something special is happening.
Have you ever seen Bodø Glimt at home in a Europa League match not scoring a goal? No, you haven't.
It should be 2-3, 4-5-0. And I'm not exaggerating. They are bashing Lazio.
When the Lazio players wake up this morning, he looked at his phone and he said, "Oh, I got a weather app. Oh, it's 22 degrees and sunny in Rome." And then he opened the windows. Welcome to Aspira!
People should know about Bodø Glimt because of the way we played.
Someone called it kamikaze football.
Yeah.
It's always attacking. They say they're going to score, but when? That should have gone in. It's getting ridiculous. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. These Norwegians are too practical. Oh, come on! No, I'm sorry, it's getting ridiculous. That should have gone in. Oh, it was an open goal. Give me it! Give me it! They've got to score eventually. It's just been chance after chance. Surely one's going to go in. Why am I more nervous than everyone else? Everyone's just having a good time. Fair play, but this is Lazio. They're no small fry. What's that?
Lazio is a small fry.
They weren't lying. The goal came. I shouldn't have worn it. They were right. Bodø Glimt have got a foot in the semi-finals of the Europa League. This Nordic fairy tale just goes on and on. I just think we've been told they don't just score one, they always score two. It's in! It's in! It's in! It's in! It's 2-0! This is incredible!
Everything that's going on, this is all beautiful. All the people in Bodø wouldn't fit Lazio Stadium. So that this has happened is unbelievable. So we have to just make the most of it.
What's this song? It was made after the 6-1 match. They're singing, "We have been in plundered Roma. Something wasn't any good. Who's supposed to stand in the way? Bodø Glimt is big is ignored."
But sometimes you're under a lucky star, and sometimes everything will align. And when it does, you better be there, and you better be part of the journey, and you better go to matches, and you better have a fucking good time.
I feel like you're gonna cry.
What's happening? What's happening? How is this possible?
It looks like
It's crazy!
it looks like you're going to the semi-finals.
Yes,
How long have you been supporting this club?
since I was 2 years old.
No,
My
what?
mother.
Your mother took you
When I was, yes.
this big. And if I had told you when you were this big, you would be winning 4 leagues.
Oh, that's it.
You would be in Europe, almost in the semi-finals. This is what it means, this club. Wow. I don't think I can say anything better than that.